one of the things that I wanted to talk about is just getting started. And a lot of folks talk about, they're like, I need to have the best stuff. I need to have a big fancy trailer and big water tanks and fancy hose reels and all this stuff. And the honest truth is, you don't need to have that. Would it be nice to have that? Absolutely, it would be nice to have it, but it's not necessary. And behind me is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. What this is a Craigslist trailer that I bought for a couple $100. And everything on this trailer is stuff that we had taken out of service, right? So it's a used machine, a used pump, used tanks. I think the only thing that's new is the hoses. And I put this trailer together for my son. He's 19 years old. He just finished his first year of college. He was coming home for the summer. He normally works for me in my landscape business. We had enough people working that I didn't really want to do that. He didn't really want to get back on a landscape crew. And so I was utilizing him to do a bunch of flat work, some smaller houses, things that were, within his wheelhouse and his knowledge house of what he was capable of doing. And I didn't want to invest a ton of money. I didn't want to take a trailer away from, one of my regular guys just so he could have something to do, because that's not how I operate. But I wanted him to be able to get out there and get the job done and get it done effectively. And so I'm going to walk you through this cheap, ugly trailer. And the point of it is, you don't have to have the top of the line stuff when you're just starting out. You may have a 2.5 gallon per minute machine from Lowe's or Home Depot, and you know what? It's going to get the job done. Is it as effective and as efficient as an 8 gallon per minute machine or a 5 gallon per minute machine? Of course it's not. But you're out there, you're making the money, so you can then take that money and invest it in your future. Invest it in not only the equipment, but your education, right? And that's what you're doing by watching this video right now, is you're investing in your future. You want to know the best ways to start your business. You want to know how to do things. And you don't have to have, a $30,000 trailer, a $50,000 truck with a $10,000 wrap. You don't need that stuff. All you need is the willingness and the heart to get it going. And you can do that with something like this, or a pickup truck and a Home Depot pressure washer and a garden hose, right? That's all you need. So let's walk through this build. Okay, like I said, this is a very cheap Craigslist trailer. I picked it up for a couple $100. This is a tank that we used to have on one of our first roof washing rigs, and that was probably 15 years ago. It's ugly. This actually came from a pest control supply house. They had a special on them, and I grabbed it. It suits our needs. We've got a water tank. Obviously, it's used, and that clearly is connected through a filter into your pump. And then we've got a used pressure washer. That's a Predator engine from Harbor Freight. I used to make these things for all of our trailers. All you need is a gearbox, a pressure washer, or a pressure washing pump, an unloader, and a engine, and you've got yourself a pretty nice pressure washer. This is an 8 gallon per minute machine. As you can see, this thing has been used. It's been beat up. This was in service on one of our regular rigs for many years, and then after they become a little less reliable, that's when we start replacing things. So this went into my storage unit. I've got probably 2 or 3 other ones of these that are in there right now that are still functional, but they're just not as good as they used to be, not as reliable. Right here, you've got just another small tank. That's a chemical tank or a surfactant tank, whatever you want to call it. And then we've got our gas tanks and a surface cleaner over here. Again, this is one that we've taken out of service. We've upgraded to the same machine or the same surface cleaner, but this one is just a little bit, more beat up. And then, of course, we've got our gun and our hose, which I said is new. But all in, I think I invested maybe $600 above and beyond what I had. And it's completely functional. Mike, my son, he worked his tail off this summer, and he made probably 10 grand to take back to school, which was huge for a kid. So, that was awesome. He was able to do it. And again, you don't have to spend a fortune. You can't see this, I don't think, if you can or not, but there's a sign back there. And again, I wanted signage. I like signage on all my vehicles. We try to keep everything branded and the same. This was one that I had in my storage facility, and it was, probably 10 years old, but again, I wanted signage, I wanted a phone number, I wanted people to have a way to call us, and that's essential too. So, you know, even if you're just getting started, you want to put your name out there. You want to get you want everybody to know what you're doing, what your phone number is, how to contact you. And there's a sign back here that I had laying around, bolted it up, and you know, it definitely generated money for us, because people drive by, they see it, they see someone out working, they see their neighbor getting their home clean, their driveway washed, and they want to keep up with the Joneses. So definitely have your signs with all your information.
So Mike, when would you say somebody would need to make, like, let's say they were just using a 2.5 to 4 gallon a minute washer out of the back of their truck, when would they need to take the jump to this, or would this be just a good place to start in general?
You know, again, I think it's all dependent upon your finances, you know, what your situation is. If you can afford to invest in something a little bit bigger, a little bit nicer, have a water tank instead of just a hose. You know, have a chemical tank instead of, you know, however you're applying it, in buckets or whatever. It makes you more efficient. So if you're just starting out and you've got limited funds, I would definitely say do what you can do. Don't go into debt. I think that, you know, reinvesting back into your business is important, and you have to act like a business owner. This, you know, is this a side hustle for you? Maybe it is, and you're just trying to make a couple extra bucks. But if this is a business, then you need to reinvest back into your business. And reinvesting into your business means not spending it as soon as you get it, right? That means putting money aside so you can buy a new trailer, so you can buy a bigger machine, so you can buy a soft wash system. And it doesn't have to be, you know, a $15,000 soft wash system at first. It can be, you know, a $200 pump, and, you know, the hoses and everything else that it takes. You can get by without spending a fortune, allowing you to build up that nest egg, so then you can go and invest. So it doesn't have to happen overnight, and in all reality, it's not going to happen overnight. Don't let anybody fool you. Don't let anybody trick you into thinking that, you know, this is a get-rich scheme or an overnight success type of deal. It's not. It takes hard work. It takes investment in education, investment in equipment, investment in yourself, investment in your business for it to be successful. And these are all things that you have to do every single day. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're interested in learning how to grow your business, I have a free web class. It is called The Fastest Way to 6 Figures for Your Pressure Washing Business. The link's below. Check it out. Have a great day.